Live for positivity. You're trying to bring people up because that doesn't go away. That shit will never ever go away, and it's constant work.
Yeah.
And the thing that I was tripping out on is like, is you saying how you hurt people close to you. That's awesome. We talked about it. I definitely understand what it's like to hurt people. I've hurt people. I've hurt people in ways. I'm disgusted with myself for what I've done.
Yeah.
I haven't hurt people that are close to me. I can't imagine what that's like, and I want to know. First, I guess I want to know, how does that feel? Do you know that you're doing that while you're doing it? And what is the realization? Like, what does that feel like to know you've done that or to know you're doing that?
Yeah, I mean, so there's two perspectives on it. There's where I am now and who I was then.
Yeah.
And I've had to do a lot of inventory on what was motivating this perspective.
Yep.
I come from like, and this isn't a boohoo shit either, but I know abandonment. Mm-hmm. I know like deuces. And I would test relationships, and as a way of like finding a barometer. I'd also I would hurt people just out of straight selfishness. No, like, there's no intellectual facet to it. Just the fact that, the fact that I cheated on every woman I'd ever been with. The fact that directors who put me on, who took me from nothing and put me, sense weakness in another person on the other side of a scene, I would lean in. I wouldn't try to uplift nobody. I would try to lean in. And it was this constant trying to define myself in the world. It has to do with not feeling enough. All of this comes from fear. Just when I didn't understand masculinity in full. What I know masculinity to be now is stability. You can't really have stability if you're running shit. Because if you're just a dude, like, you know how infinitesimally fucking small, we don't even know how deep Lake Michigan is, right. What are you really running? Right. You're running nothing. Right. And so this idea that if you're bossing your life, you're always going to be in a tremendous amount of fear. And that
denial, right? Denial. It's just not real.
Yeah, you have to deny anybody else's God. You have to deny God in full, and you have to, you fall into this like Sam Harris, Christopher Hitchens hole, where you're trying to intellectualize everything and rationalize everything.
You're fragile, dude. We're all fragile.
But then you get caught up with like, I hung out with like philosophers and shit. I would backstop all my shit with like these philosophies, like fucking words. Play these word spells on people. And was using like performance art to like create this, running word spells, just a bunch of fucking nonsense. Really, at the end of the day, that all had to do with the same thing that hurt people. It was all about, my propulsion system was fucked. My motivations behind the way I was living my life was wrong. I had to get a new propulsion system.
Y'all?
I wasn't looking at life like how can I be useful to other people. I wasn't looking
I'm not saying,
to be of service to nobody.
Even I'm sorry, that's
the I listen to Ethan Hawke sometimes.
That's an interview I'm watching.
Do interviews about how he looks at the craft, and he's always talking about like, my job is just to be in service of the
director. LaBeouf.
And that's like foreign to me. Yeah. I remember being in service to a director and getting fucked over. I remember doing movies with certain dudes who like led me down a weird path, and looking back at the project thinking like, nah, man, I was right all along. You were wrong, and then I stopped listening to any kind of director.
I'm fixing these chains right here.
That innocent dude who came into the industry with all this wild, wide-eyed wonderment, that disappeared pretty quick. And then it became like, I got around some dudes who I saw work a very specific way. And I thought the answer to this having to rely on the infallible man that is the director, is you just
follow my Instagram, Luie TDL, LUIETDL, LUIETDL.
Manager and saying like, what do you mean? I'm God. This is really where I was at, because I thought my craft was God. I thought love, art, and God all meant the same thing to me.
And to somebody who's because I understand you're looking at it from two different perspectives. It's where you're at now and where you
LUIETDL.
may be going through that right now, or for somebody who you know, maybe is close to somebody who's going through that. Were there ever times of empathy?
I'm
Were there
editing a
ever
video
times of
right now
realization?
for
Were there
tomorrow's
ever times of
upload at
shame
10 a.m.
when you're like, fuck, I just hurt that person? What would you say to that dude?
I'll tell you like this. I remember being in Georgia when I was doing this movie with this kid, Zach. You were there for part of it.
Yeah.
And I remember getting arrested.
Yeah.
And I remember getting out of jail the next day, and I remember sitting down with Zach, and there were moments of like...
Are you new to the channel, or you've always been a subscriber?
And this happened to be one of them, and he said, you know, this is my one shot. You make movies all the time, but this is my one shot, and you're ruining it for me. And to say that you don't feel that when it lands is not true. I felt it deeply, but it's what you do with that feeling. You know, do you change? And I didn't. You know, I would always like, I always had an inch left.
Louis TDL.
Every time I would fuck up, there was always some wiggle. There was always a Brad Pitt on the phone.
Louis
there was always
TDL.
some like, you know, Sundance
Some
award.
next project,
There was always
some next-
Alma. There was always another. There was always wiggle room to get back into ego. And this time there wasn't no wiggle room. That's why I attribute this woman with saving my life, because she destroyed any route towards that wiggle.
That's real.
It is real.
Rock fucking bottom.
Rock bottom. Bottom isn't when you experience the worst moment in your life.
Definitely.
Bottom is when you change.
It's when you actually it's when you touch it, when you smell it, when it's right in your face. It's not about
LUITDL, just in case.
severity of what the thing is. It's
about what you do with it once it happens. So like, once it happened, I mean, when it landed, I forgot how to breathe. You know, because the email, the subtext of the email was, your hustle's over. You know, and I forgot how to breathe. And the next thing I did after 2 minutes of sitting there looking at the screen was I went 2 minutes thinking, where's the wiggle room?
What's my play?
Yeah, what's the play? And there were no options. It was like there was nowhere to go. It's not like I could go outside, get a Choco Taco, and chill on the, you know, people were driving down the street, rolling down the window like, fuck off and die, you know? This is where I was in the early days of this shit. So I didn't even want to leave my house. And I had a woman living in my house who wasn't my wife. And I was on my way to go do some movie I didn't give a fuck about, you know, just like momentum building kind of shit, you know, movies, no intrinsic value, just like I need something on the cards, you know, for this year, I need my 2 or 3 projects, one of these things. And I felt disconnected from all of it. And
Stephanie Salazar.
Emails from certain dudes.
Are you from Chicago, or are you
like you were still involved in my life even when it got?
Oh my God, you're spamming
you know,
Okay. Oh my
one of those
God.
dudes was Sean Penn. And Sean's like, you need to call Brolin. And I called Brolin, and he told me he was going to this meeting online. Now the gun is loaded. Like, I haven't left my sitting position, you know. And I wound up signing on to this meeting, and I heard one of the dudes who was speaking that night say, if you're new and you just entered, you know, you don't have everything you want right now, but you got everything you need right now. Now. And he did that for like 2 minutes. And the first minute I'm thinking, you can't spend the whole rest of your share just snapping your fingers and saying now. Like, this shit is ludicrous. And I went into this judgment.
America, I live in America. Yeah, me too,
It sounds
me too.
like criticality. It sounds like judgment. So I'm
from
in my
Chicago,
judgment,
Illinois,
like,
Chicago.
You better say, and the gun is right here. I'm like, you better say something that's really going to get me the fuck out of where I'm at. And after 2 minutes, like, I felt like a giggle start to rise inside of me, and I felt something like presence. I stopped thinking about the email, stopped thinking about my hustle. The gun almost disappeared, and it was like I'm sitting here on this Skype call, and I'm present for the first time in my life. And I want to write in the dude in the chat box like, hey, bro, you know, I'm on the verge, you know, I'm about to kill myself. He's like, oh, okay, cool, call me tomorrow. Just like throwaway, you know, and I needed that. I had been enabled for so long in my life that if it was going to be me walking into this program and having a bunch of dudes pat me on the back like, hey, man, welcome home. We're glad you're here. I'd have been out again, because then it would have been more wiggle room. But the guy that I wound up running into was not having
cool.
it.
I can't find it. It says nothing.
He said, hey,
okay,
man,
1 second.
meet me
Hold
on
on.
the beach tomorrow.
Make
And
sure
I
you
wound
type
up,
in L
up here at Tower
U
10, and he said,
I-E
I need you to get on your knees.
T
And I'm like, I'm not getting
D-L,
on my knees.
or
He's like,
FadeItLuie.
cool, deuces. He started walking
So
away. I'm thinking, oh, fuck. But it also
LUIETDL.
reified this, like, you don't care. Like, you care, but not in that way. You know, you're not going to pat me on my back. And I said, okay. I was so willing at this point, because I was in so much fucking pain. And he said, get on your knees. And I get on my knees. He gets on his knees with me. So right away, it's no longer like this power play. We're like collaborating in this. And he says, I need you to stop the waves. And I'm like, man, listen, this Dr. Quinn medicine woman version of this shit ain't gonna work with me. You know, like, I get how this goes. He's like, you're either gonna write what happens, or you're gonna do a bunch of shit that you don't believe in so that your life changes. Because your issue is that you need to rationalize
L-U-I-T.
and you're out of options, son.
L-U-I-E.
Like, what?
T-D-L.
If not this, what? And he was right.
No,
and so I
almost. You
stop
almost got it
waves,
right.
And he's like, louder.
L-U-I-E.
Stop waves, and he got up off of his knees and he started walking
Louis.
away. And I looked back and
And
he's
then
like, nah, keep
T-D-L.
going. And he's like, keep saying it again. I say, stop waves. He's like, louder, bro. They're all
I wish
the
I
way
could
over
type
there.
in the
They're
chat.
all
Hold
the way
on.
over here. Stop them waves, man. And now I'm yelling, and I'm having like an emotional. It almost feels performative now. Yeah. Now I'm like back in my bag, back to like the manipulating, hustling, like wiggle room finding. Yeah, watch this.
Let me go to the live stream on my.
I'm crying and I'm stop waves. You know, like I'm in the middle of like the greatest monologue of my life on this beach. You know, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he puts his hand on my shoulder and he goes, "You can stop all that."
Exactly. Yes, there we go. Yes, yes, ma'am. L-U-I-E.
He puts his hand on my shoulder. He stood up.
Perfect.
Yes. My left shoulder.
Yes, there we go.
Right
Yes,
shoulder.
yes, ma'am.
And he puts his hand on my shoulder. Stood up.
Perfect.
And it did something to me that felt like warrior shit. I didn't know, it felt like man code, like G shit. It didn't feel like fluffy, cute shit, book reading, sitting in a. It felt like
you're on a mission.
Yeah, it felt purposeful, and it felt sexy. To be honest with you, sexy in the way that listening to Kevin Vance feels sexy to a young man who feels like a boy. It felt so rooted, and it wasn't emotional. It wasn't performative. He wasn't trying to manipulate me, but it was kind of hokey and like the knights in shining armor kind of hokiness that like made me feel like a little kid again. And he said, I need you to go home and clear out, like clear the decks. And I'm like, nah, man, like for me, and I don't know if you felt this way, but every woman was the one for me. There was never a two. If you liked me, you were the
Louis
one.
TDL, yes,
and that had to do with my
yes, ma'am. That is it, right?
Super.
That's exactly how you say it.
Romantic, super. This fierce romance, you know, that I was searching for, desperate little boy shit. And he said, you got to clear the decks. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that, man. You know, I feel like she's the one. And he's like giggling to himself, you know. This isn't my wife. My wife is not involved in my life at this point. And I got this one who's not the one who accused me of this shit. And she's just another person who's been trapped in my sphere of influence. And she's living in my house. And he's like, well, look, man, I'll tell you what, you know, you can keep doing it your way or you can try some new shit because the way that you're living, it's you're fucked. You're fully fucked. You're doomed.
Yo, what's up, brother?
You're doomed. That was the word.
Let me see. Oh my God, I look.
To put it in perspective, if you went to Kaiser Permanente right now, and they had
type in your Instagram so I can make sure it's the right one as well.
Looking at a picture of your clavicle, and the doctor said, "Hey, man, you see that gray spot just above your chest cavity? You're doomed." What would happen to you was your asshole would suck. You would fucking start sweating bullets, and you wouldn't be thinking about the job that you got to get to, or the girl you got to hold on to, or where you're gonna go for Father's Day, or what. That you immediately your whole life would get very small, and the only rational response to that kind of information is, well, what do I do?
I don't have an account.
And if I told you to staple a dog's dick to your fucking chin and walk up and down the street picking a cigarette buzz, you would do it.
Oh, you don't have an Instagram account?
Or whether you believe in it or nothing, you go look for a dog.
I don't have an account.
And so,
sorry.
that made sense to me.
Okay.
He puts me in a car and says, I need you to listen to Sandy
How did you follow me then?
And
I don't know how.
At this point in my life,
Let
like
me see.
I'm like barely hanging on. And I'm using this woman like drugs. You know, every time I need validation, I'm with this woman, and she becomes with the job, the mask of success that the job created for me, which
you gotta make an Instagram. That app is amazing. It's better than Facebook, and
he's like, you got to get rid of all of it.
What's it called? It's better than Facebook
there is no more work and no more romance for
Snapchat.
a year.
Those apps are horrible. Oh my God.
And I'm thinking like I'm not gonna be able to pull that off, you know. And right away I'm half measuring, and this is my wiggle room. I can't. And he says, I need you to download this tape, this Sandy Beach tape. Sandy Beach is a big speaker. And in this what
was the speech?
Yeah, the speech was he's talking about this Chinese farmer. And this Chinese farmer and his son, they're picking radishes about the ground. And they don't own the land that they're farming off of. and they're barely subsisting. They're giving 70% to the landowner. They're living off of 30% of these radishes. Their whole financial legacy is tied up into this workhorse. And one day, and the son is really working the land because the man is too old.
Instagram is awesome. They got everything on there. They got Reels. They got like TikTok. They got like its own Instagram. I mean, its own Snapchat thing.
Dad up and he says, "Dad, you're not going to
believe
really
good.
This is a travesty. We're going to die out here.
If I was you, I would make one.
I can't get these radishes to grow unless I turn this land over, and I can't move that hoe without the horse, and the horse is gone. This is a nightmare." And the old man, nonplussed, looks at his son. He goes, "I don't know what this is, son. I don't know if it is a nightmare. I can't call it." And the son thinks his dad's out to lunch, or like ambivalent, or something's wrong, or he's too old. And a couple days later, the kid is chilling on the porch and he sees the horse running down the hill with 50 wild stallions behind it. And they run into the paddock, and he locks the paddock, and he runs inside, and he hits the dad. He's like, "Man, this is fuck radishes. Like, we're rich, you know, we're in the horse business. We're in the horse trading business now. This is a miracle, Dad. I'm gonna go tell everybody we're trading horses now." And the father looks at his son, nonplussed again, and says, "I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's a miracle. I can't call it." And a couple more days pass, and
definitely make
his son's
one.
trying to break these horses down, domesticate these horses. He doesn't know anything about horses. He's a radish farmer. So one of the horses ain't having it.
Oh my God, I didn't even know you could see those.
His leg. It's like 1400s China. There's no Kaiser Permanente. His shit is shattered. Yeah. They wrap him in some like tobacco leaves and sprinkle some mint on it. Go sit in a chair for a while, and
make a Instagram and then follow me so I can follow you back.
Run up on the little shack and, "Oh man, what are you gonna do? You know, you can't domesticate these horses. You can't move this hoe. You guys are fully fucked. I don't know what you're gonna do, but this is pretty much the end, right? Like, this is a nightmare." And the old man says, "I don't know what this is." He looks at his son's leg. He goes, "I don't know what this is. I can't really call it." Couple more days pass. He's sitting with his son. He's trying to calm him down. He's in the middle of pain, and they hear this thunderous noise, and they look up on the ridge line, and they see 5,000 samurai on horseback running.
I got a freaking my sister forgot her keys, so I gotta drop them off to her. There. Yeah, it doesn't show that. Yeah, I don't think it'll work. Make one so you can follow me, or text my number. Text my number Write my number down right now. 312. Wait, how old are you? Wait a minute. How old are you? Ah, shit. It's cold as fuck outside. Oh my god. How old are you? You look like you're like 24 years old. Oh my god, it's fucking cold as shit. Oh my god. Ah! It's so cold. Okay, then text me on my number then. 312 468 9285. So 9285. We out here. We outside. Boom, jackpot. Here you go. Holy shit, it's cold. It's open? Okay. Fuck. I came with fucking sandals too. 312 468 9285. So 312 468 9285. Fuck, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold. Nah. Okay, yeah. Fuck. 312 468 9285.
Thank you so much.
Fuck. Live streaming.
Hello.
They're probably like, what the fuck? This motherfucker went from his computer to Walgreens.
I don't know how I did that. It's because
It's all good.
it
It was in your jacket.
no, that's why I always put it in my jacket or my purse. And I forgot that I went to my fucking jacket today. It was nice outside.
Oh yeah. On the floor.
It's okay.
Oh yeah. I hung out the keys. You got the
What?
keys?
Yeah.
Okay. You're like, wait, what?
Literally, I'm like, fuck, what do you mean?
Okay, God bless you. Yeah, let me get it.
It's the army one.
What I'm tweaking is this one over here. Is red? Type in the number you're typing in the comment to see if it's right. So I could fact check it to see if it's the correct one. All right. Oh shit. So 3, 2, 4, 6, 8, 92, 85. My viewers. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Louis to the rescue. Yeah. That. Oh, I'm gonna be able to type it in the comments right now. Gotta work out.
I love you, Papa. I love you guys.
Love you, dog. Yes, ma'am. Three one. Hey, you can hear me? 312 468 9285. I'm gonna type it right now, anyways. That's all. I'm gonna type it. Don't worry. You're gonna be able to see it right now.
She's on her way out.
Okay, so 312 468 9285.
My shirt off Hulk Hogan style.
All right, that right there. That's the number.
That guy.
I typed it in the comment section.
Yeah, boombox in the air, guy. That's what I came up on. And something in me from having heard what I just heard, what feels like this is now I can't get no lower. I hear this like I can't call it. And it becomes like the most diplomatic breakup I ever had in my life. And I say, what can I do? And can I get you a car? And she goes, no, don't worry about it. Go get well.
It's red? Oh, that's
and weird. I go walk into my house and I call my dude up and I'm like, man, I think this shit is working. Like, man, this is a miracle. Like,
All right, you said you followed me on Instagram, right? Let me check the Instagram. Where can I follow you? Wait, did you follow me through Maya Loeza? Is that the account that you follow me on? Maya Loeza. I think I got your Instagram now. It says it's... Wait. Yeah. Okay, you gotta accept the follow because it says your account's private, so it doesn't let me follow you. There we go. Finally. All right, cool. Now we're gonna be in contact. All right. I gotta finish editing this video. This is no joke right here. If I don't finish editing this by a certain time, I'm gonna be fucked. See ya. Yes, see ya. Peace out. God bless you. I'm gonna text you on Instagram. Okay, I'll accept my follow request so I can text you on Instagram. Accept my follow request so I can text you on Instagram now. It's all good. That'll be pretty fucking cool. That'll be pretty fucking cool. La 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 la, yeah 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 yeah. Oh yeah, who's viewing? Who's watching? Comment down below. I see you. Speed duration. I hope that's enough. Shit. Yeah, that's enough. Yeah, it's enough, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Nice. I'm retarded. Alright. Oh my god, it's cold. Alright, time for me to close the window. There we go. Ah, hell no. Fucking hell no. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all?
This is the most diplomatic thing I ever. And I'm in my meeting. I'm telling all the dudes like, I think this program's really working in my life, man. And then I got 5 days sober, and they're like, bro, I think you're pink clouding. Why don't you go to another fucking meeting, Jack? And I go on to this other meeting. Now the whole time I've been doing this for the first 5 days, I'm on the phone with a lawyer. Like, look, this is true, but this isn't true. And I got receipts for this, and I'm not gonna do this. And I'm fighting tooth and nail. I'm on the phone with the agents, and the manager's like, listen, you gotta believe me, and blah blah blah, and doing that shit, right? And my sponsor's telling me the whole time, he's like, look, you're gonna have to let go, dog. Like, the wind's at your back. Just let go. You know, all this like fighting you fuck around, like, let go, man. That's childish. And I'm hearing him, but I'm not doing it. You know, I'm on the phone with him, and I'm hanging up the phone, I'm fighting this thing, and I got a lawyer who's like, you need to go to rehab for anger management. Because when you go to court, no AA is gonna mean shit, you know. Addicts had already juiced that route for so long that it don't mean nothing. We need clinical receipts that you're
What's going on, guys? FadeItLuie here, bringing you guys a brand new video. We're going to be doing a high fade on my boy, so stay tuned. We're going to be starting off by botting them out with our Oster fast feeds. You want to make sure you stretch the skin as much as possible with your opposite hand so you don't... Oster fast feeds. Those aren't Oster fast feeds. We're going to be starting off by botting them out with our Oster octanes, and we want to make sure we stretch the skin as much as possible with our opposite hand. That's why I don't like having audio when I'm doing a voiceover, because then it just throws me off a little bit. We're using the 5-aught blade. You can find it on Amazon for around $30 to $50. Now that we're done botting them out, we're going to move on to our foil shavers and remove the stubble. Now that we're done botting them out with our Oster octanes, we're going to move on to our foil shavers and remove the stubble. Since we're done removing the stubble, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. We're then going to use the lever midway and all the way close to help us erase that initial guideline we created with our octanes. Now that we're done erasing that initial guideline, we're going to go ahead and move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. We also are going to go all the way to the top, making sure we comb the hair with our opposite hand. We're also going to use the lever midway and all the way close to help us soften up this line, getting ready for the half guard. Getting ready. Now that the line is soft enough, we're going to move on to our half guard and erase the line completely. This is going to help us blend the 1.5 guard to the no guard all the way open. Now that we're done blending the side, we can move on to the back with our no guard all the way open, creating our second guideline. Remember, we're going to use the lever midway and all the way close to help us erase that initial guideline we created with our octanes. Since we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. Remember, we're going to use the lever midway and all the way close to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. Using our clipper over comb method, we're going to make sure we use our horizontal blends just to make sure we debulk as much as possible. Moving on to our clipper over comb method, we're going to make sure we use our horizontal cutting blade to make sure we debulk as much as possible. Now that we're done using our clipper over comb method, we could go ahead and move on to our anti outliners in the front line. I usually start off at the middle and work my way to the sides, especially when I'm using We're also going to use our anti outliners to make sure we make the part. We're going to start off at the back area and work our way to the front. Before we line up his goatee, we're going to make sure we lay it nice and down with our comb. Now that the hair is nice and laid down, we can move on to our anti outliners and go ahead and line up the bottom of the beard. Moving on to our one guard all the way open, we're going to go ahead and debulk the top of his mustache. When lining up the mustache area, you want to make sure you're as light as possible so you don't bite their lip with the teeth of the trimmer. Now that we're done lining up his front line and goatee, we can move on to the top and use our shears to make sure we make a guideline throughout the middle and work our way to the sides. When cutting with the shears, you want to make sure you grab the hair with the comb, feed them into your fingers, and cut with your cutting blade. Always try your best to not go past the second knuckle of your hand because you could increase the risk of you cutting yourself. You also want to keep your fingers as straight as possible. That also lowers the likelihood of you cutting yourself. I am double jointed, so it is a little harder for me to do it because my fingers bend naturally. Now that we're done using our shears, we can move on to the blade. And before we use the razor, we're going to go ahead and apply some shave gel so that the razor could glide better. When using the razor, you want to make sure you stretch the skin as much as possible with your opposite hand and keep it at a 45-degree angle. This lowers the likelihood of you cutting someone. Oh my god, creatine makes you so gassy. Jesus Christ. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, always tune into my live streams. I usually live stream daily around 3 p.m. Fucking bitch. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, be sure to tune into my live streams. Alright.